working on the National Youth Organizing Committee of the Million Man March, and everybody was talking about how important that was. We would remind them in the meetings, this is the 50th anniversary of the 5th Pan-African Congress. So the character of our resistance is very important. So they were there. So and that's 5 years, and in London, we're in Manchester, England. So Manchester, a point of reference for Manchester isn't a terrorist act. It's the 5th Pan-African Congress. But more importantly, this is 5 years after the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey transitions to the ancestors in London, right? So 5 years later, these two sophisticated women, fighters of the highest order, they're there with Du Bois, organizing a meeting that led to the dismantling of colonialism in 36 nations 15 years later, the most rapid swing towards progress any oppressed people have ever witnessed. That symbolized the burying of the hatchet dealing with Du Bois and Garvey. So why in the hell are we still talking about the differences between them in 2017?
Yeah.
They buried the hatchet. In a meeting where the follow-up was the dismantling of colonialism, because that's the purpose they came together. What a couple.
Yeah.
You know him. What you know about her? She's the first African woman, she's the first woman in U.S. history to write an opera. She put out history in opera form called Tom Toms. The repatriate community in Ghana that still exists, it's not like, it's different from the one that Julia Mayfield was a part of, that Tom Feelings was a part of, that W. Alpheus Henson was a part of, that Alice Wyndham was a part of, that Maya Angelou, we could have had her up here. How many times did they mention Maya Angelou in connection to Ghana? Should we remember her as a defender of Nkrumah or Bill Clinton's favorite poet? What's wrong with us?
We don't know.
So, but the repatriate community is her idea. Her idea. And the other person that should be credited is Brother Robert Lee and his wife Sarah Lee, who went to Lincoln with Nkrumah and came back to Ghana with Nkrumah even before independence to do dental training. And they trained 4 generations of dentists. And they stayed in Ghana after Nkrumah was overthrown. And they say that the whole strategy to promote the slave castles was actually their idea.
Uncle Bobby.
Yeah. So she's the one, and when Kwame Ture showed up in Guinea, she trained him. And when Robert Williams showed up in Ghana, after hanging out in Vietnam, after hanging out in China, after hanging out in Cuba, and she was looking at his energy, and she whispered to him real humbly, Ghana already has a leader, his name is Kwame Ture, what skills you bring in here? So the whole concept of an African skill bank, we have to take a look at her.